That brings us to calling functions, really the heart of most applications. You've already seen how to write a constructor and a destructor for classes, and they are actually functions, so the rules are the same for functions as you've already seen. You have to declare it before you can use it, and you typically declare it in a header file that can be included in all the different places that might call the function. You just implement them once in an implementation file, typically with the extension .cpp, and you add that .cpp file into your project in Visual Studio so that everything will be compiled and linked together into the executable. A function that's part of a class, like constructors and destructors, are called member functions. In C++, you can also write functions that are not part of any class. People sometimes call them global functions, but a better name for them is free functions. And there's very little difference between them, both in the rules when you write them and declare them, and even when you call them. When you call a member function, you use the dot syntax, and when you call a free function, you don't. That's about it. Function takes parameters, optionally. Some functions don't take any, and it can take them by value or by reference. When parameters are taken by value, the compiler actually makes a copy of whatever you're passing down to give to the function to work with, and any changes the function makes are strictly local and are thrown away when the function ends. When you pass by reference, the compiler gives the function access to the actual information, the actual address that you chose to pass, and any changes that you make in the function are reflected back in the calling code. And I'll have a demo to show you that. You can also return either nothing at all, we don't have a subroutine in C++, we just have a function that doesn't return anything, or a value or a reference. And when you return by value, copies are made. Copies in C++ can potentially be expensive. And this is why we sometimes like to take parameters by reference or to return them by reference. However, when you return by reference, you have to make sure that you don't create what's known as a dangling reference. And again, that's something that I'll demonstrate.